So in today's training, we'll be talking about pivot points. Pivot points. So let me show you my MT4. So pivot points. Pivot points is the works of pivot points is to show us and to help us to find the potential support and resistance level. It helps us to find the potential support and resistance level in Forex markets. So, for instance, just like this, instead of us to be looking at this by ourselves, this system will help us to identify where we have a support level and where we have a resistance level. Let's assume this is my current market. Before I know the potential support level of this, I will have to scroll back. I have to draw my horizontal line here. Then I scroll down. I scroll down. Then this is another point here. Pivot points will help us without you trying to figure out where we have a support level or a resistance level. So we can use pivot points to identify that. So the difference between these pivot points and the Fibonacci level, the Fibonacci retracement we've taught before, is just that the Fibonacci, this pivot point is 100% objective. Like in Fibonacci, something like this, in Fibonacci level, let us take retracement. You have to figure out the highest level here to the lowest level here. From high swing to low swing here. So, but in pivot point, automatically, you don't have to figure out anything by yourself. It is a system that automatically helps you with the resistance and the support level. So in Forex markets, everyone see different things. Everyone see different things. But with using pivot points, everyone will be saying the same thing. So far, they are using the same time frame you are using. So far, they are using the same time frame with you. So everyone will be saying the same thing. So now, let's look at how we can use these pivot points. There is actually a way we can use to calculate this pivot point, but we don't have to worry on how to calculate this. We just have to know how we can use the pivot point in Forex market. So let's take a look on how we can plot this on our MT4. We come to inserts. So when we come to inserts, then we come to indicators. Then we come to custom. So then we locate it. It will be under custom. The reason is that it is not an MT4 indicators. So it is a custom indicator designed for MT4. So we have to go and download it before we add it into our MT4. So it is because it is here already. And if you want to add it to your MT4, I hope you know how to add indicators to MT4. Do you know
yes,
that?
Sir. Yes, sir, from our editor.
Editor?
Like from the editor file.
Yeah, from this file like this, open data folder. The MQL4, yeah. So then you add it into your indicators. This are set of indicators. You just have to add it along with all these indicators. Then it will be added. Very simple. So now, let me add the pivot points. Okay. I'm using 1 hour time frame. You are not seeing it clearly now. Let me change the background. So it is a bit fair by now. And this is it as well. You can locate your pivot point, can locate it here under this, under navigator. It is here under navigator. So these are pivot points. The S, this S here means support. Why this PP means pivot point, and the R means resistance. Let's use a short time frame. I'm using 30-minute time frame. So we have R1 here, we have PP, we have S1. So automatically, it's helps us to identify, as I said earlier, our support and resistance level. So if you want to identify this particular level, you can just attach your own horizontal line to it. Yes, something like this. Attach your own horizontal line to it. Okay. And you can make it that fits. So now, this is how to use our pivot point. The market have come down here. Then the moment the market reach this particular point, this particular S1, which is our support level here, if it is an uptrend, so the moment the market reach here and it goes up like this, it comes out of this S1, we can take our buy trade and set our stop loss here. We can set our stop loss here at this point and set our take profits. We can set our take profit. Let's assume I enter the market here. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Now, we can do it like this. When we see the market is ranging, just like this, the market is ranging. It's ranging like this. And the moment it breaks out of this support here, out of these lines here, the moment it breaks out. So if I'm an aggressive trader, the moment it breaks out, I'll just take a trade, just like that. But if I'm a conservative trader, I want to wait for the test, for pullback. So the moment the market pull back, before I take a trade. So can you see the market pulled back a little bit? It goes up, backs up, come back, then it now starts going to our directions. But if your stop loss is too low, like if the stop loss, if it is not far from the market, so it will definitely hit our take profit, our stop loss here. But if you can shift your stop loss, let's assume we see this market at this point now. We can set our stop loss at this point, this line here. Then can we see? And we'll be targeting something here like this. We'll be targeting here. Now the market is coming down here. It's reached here. So the moment it breaks out of this S1 here, then we want to take long. We are going for buy. Then we can set our take profit at any point we wish to set it. So based on our analysis, so you can set your take profit at this PP. And based on the risk reward ratio, you are going for that market. If it is 1:2, if it is 1:3, if it is 1:4 risk reward ratio. So that depends on, that will determine where you are going to place your take profits. So let us take a look at another trade. Let me use another pair, USD. 。 Let me. I want to see if I can bold it, but it's not possible. So let me add it. You can't see it clearly like this. Let me change the background. So now let me use a downtrend. And it can only work in current markets. Can you see the more I shift it back, I will not find the level anymore. This is our resistance. This is our resistance level. Let me use my horizontal line to support it. So this is our pivot point level. And this is our S1 level. Good. So we can use as many currency pairs to test this. So this is a downtrend now. This is a downtrend. So the market is coming up, it's coming from up like this. It's coming up. If it is for downtrend, we are using downtrend. So the moment it's reached this R1, it can be R1, it can be R2, it can be any level. But so far it is in downtrend. So the moment it hits any point that is here, the moment it reach any point that is here, so we can take a sell trade. We just put our stop loss just above this particular point here. We set our stop loss above this particular point, above this point, and this is it here. And we can be targeting any point here based on our analysis. So you can set your take profit at any point that you think the market will reach before it reverses. What we care most in market is the risk. We don't focus much on how much you earn, but you focus much more on how much you want to risk for that particular trade. So that is why we normally make mention of stop loss before take profit. So you can actually be trading without using take profit. It is even allowed not to use take profit, but you can't trade. You can't be a profitable trader without a stop loss. So now, the market comes up like this, reach these points, then we know we'll be looking for sell trade at these points. As I said earlier in my previous training, I normally say that we don't want to take any trade against the trend. We take trade along with the trend. So if it is a downtrend, you want to go for sell. And if it's an uptrend, you want to go for buy opportunity. So now, anytime it's reached this particular point, we'll be looking for the market to keep on coming down. We want to take a sell trade. Can you see now, the moment it reaches here like this, it goes up, it breaks out of the channel, it breaks out here of this particular point. It breaks out before it now return back here and starts coming down. Like someone that is very aggressive to take this particular trade. Can you see? It will have take this trade from this point. But someone, if that person is an aggressive trader, so you want to wait for what is going to happen after this long candle. What can happen after this long candle? So then, can you see after this long candle, the market starts reversing back. And it reached this point, So from here like this, someone will have take their take profits at any point here. You can take your take profit here. You can take profit at this point as well. Can you see the moment it reach here again? The moment it reach here, the market reverse backs up. So this is a pullback. This is a pullback. Someone might not actually want to take this kind of trade because you know the market is downtrend. It's downtrend already. So someone may not have take this trade, but can you see if you have a scalper, if someone is a scalper, so from here like this to the year, you make a profit. But what we will be looking at that when the market reverse back again and touch this particular point, can you see, you can definitely set your entry here that, okay, oh, the market have break through this particular point, then I'll come and wait for the market here at this point. Then I set my stop loss here, maybe above this candle. I'll set my stop loss above this candle. Then I can set my take profits anywhere based on the risk reward ratio I'm targeting for that trade, for that particular trade. So that is how to trade pivot point. That is how to use pivot points to trade, and how to use it to take breakouts. So the moment the market breaks out, you will be looking for a reversal where the market will reverse and will utilize that opportunity. So we want to wait for the market to reverse back, and we wait for the markets. So when the markets have break out here, we know the market is still coming down. So when the market did not come down, definitely our analysis is wrong, and we should avoid such a trade than losing it. It is better for our trade not to pick than to pick a wrong trade. So that is how to use pivot point. So we can actually add pivot point to any of our analysis. We can add it to any other indicators as well. So we can add it. It's a good indicator. It's a good indicator. So it is we just have a slight difference between pivot points and Fibonacci retracements. Fibonacci retracement, you just have to take a look at the support level and resistance level by yourself by dragging from swing high to swing low, or to swing low to swing high. But here, the system will automatically helps you to identify the support level and the resistance level. So I hope you understand how this pivot point works.
Yes, sir.
All right. So these are some things we need to understand about pivot points. So these are some things we need to understand. So can you see in this majority of the line we have drawn so far, where we target, majority of these things, of this trade, they normally break out of this particular point. They normally break out of the point. So when using pivot points, you don't have to be an aggressive trader. Because if you have an aggressive trader, there are some times as well, the markets will not come back. It keep on going. But like aggressive trader will be losing a lot of trade using pivot points. Because most of it, they normally break out of this point. Can you see this one breaks out of this point before it starts reversing back? Someone that is an aggressive trader, with the moment it breaks out, then it breaks out along with it by taking this particular trade. So exactly something like that happens here as well. Breaks out of this point before it's now coming down. It breaks out of this point before it now starts coming down. So you have to avoid it. Avoid such a trade. And another thing is, important news can affect the market. Some important news can affect this kind of market, and it might cause a spike on this particular trade using pivot point. Something like this. Like something like this. This can actually be a news. In fact, this kind of market like this is a news. News can move this kind of market because when there is news, there will be spike in market and will cause high volatility. Markets will be moving very, very, very fast. at that particular moment. So can you see this candle now? This candle will be moving extremely fast. The moment it breaks out, to move, it to move, it to move. Like someone that is trading now, doing news time. And this is a point. But this person believes the candle will keep on going deep down, going deep down, going deep down. And that person doesn't check if there is news or not. Can you see this particular candle then reverse back before the market starts going in its own normal direction? It is news that move this particular market. This particular market now, it is news that moves it. So you can actually test, check it. Let me check the time. At 6. At 6 on USD JPY. Let me show you my screen. Look, I use Forest Factory. USD JPY from 30. The news started from 30. Yeah, let me check. Okay. USD JPY. It is actually this news. Although it is a medium news, so nobody can actually tell us. So the kind of news we should be scared, it is low impact news. I think it is low. Yeah, it is low impact news, but it actually makes the market to move very fast. So this is the news that affect this trade. So another thing we need to take note of. So another news we need to take up is that we have to be able to mark out the other key supports or resistance level in the markets. So even though you have, let me clear it everything. Even though you have these points like this, even though the system automatically help you to identify the points here. So you yourself, you have to make sure you identify a key point as well, so that you're able to know where you are going to place your own take profits and stop loss. Because this system, this particular system will not help you to identify where you are going to place your stop loss or your take profits. So you are going to do that yourself. That is why you need to map out the key supports and resistance yourself, apart from what the system marks out for you. Like something like this. The system have marked out here. The system have marked out here. So let's check. The system marked out here for us as well. Then the system marks out here as well. Yeah, the system mark out here. So if at all, let's assume I want to take this kind of trade now. I know the system have my markets have reached the last map out here, and I want to take this kind of trade. Then I'm looking for a position where I can place my stop loss. Then I decided to place my stop loss here. I can check if something like that have happened before, and here something like that happened before. Markets have reversed to this level before it now starts going up. So I will check. Then I can check this kind of thing. Then I move my stop loss back a little bit here. So let me check here as well. Yes, my trade is down here. It's down below here. If I check my 1 hour time frame, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, it's something like this. Such a thing have happened before. Then I will use this as a reference to know where I'm going to set my own stop loss. Then I can, let's assume this is a point. I'm able to see the market movement. So I will now come here. I will not want to set my stop loss here. Although it depends on the strategy I'm using. I want to set my stop loss below this level, because there is a chance something like this will still happen again, and the market might reverse up to this level. So that is the reason I have to make sure I make my stop loss to distance a little bit to the market. And then can you see from here like this? Then keep on going high. It's going. So in this kind of trade like this, in this kind of trade, I can, in this kind of trade, using pivot points, in this kind of trade, you know, it is a down trade. And the only opportunity I'll be looking at is what? It is sell. It is to sell. If I map out my trend, my moving average, let me map out my moving average, 200 moving average. Yes. So from here to here now, it is a downtrend. From here to here, can you see? From here to here, it is the market is downtrend. So the moment this market breaks out of this my points, of this my trend lines, and my moving average tells me that the market is in uptrend, although this is a downtrend, but my moving average here tells me the market, when it breaks out here, and this particular market is still above this my 200 moving average, this particular market, I'm going to go for buy. I'm going to go for buy, straight buy, because I have my confirmation. It's a breakout of this particular trend line, and my moving average is below the market, which indicates buy. And my pivot point as well, I've reached the last. This is my S1. So I've reached a support. You have break out of this support. This is a support level. So it's a break out of this support level. Then it keep on going. And then I can now set my take profit at this point. I will set my take profit at this point because it can reach this point and start reversing back again. So that is how to use pivot points to identify the support level and resistance level of a particular market. So I hope you understand how you can use these pivot points to identify support and resistance.
Yes, sir.
So it is not what is hard to do. So it's very simple to plot, and is to plot on your MT4 as well. You just go and download the software, then you add it to your MT4. So in any strategy you want to be using, you can consider using pivot points. So all this, we are just using it for confirmations. It's not all the indicators that will actually be useful in forex market. or goes along with the any strategy you are using. But at least you have to understand how each indicators, how they works. So when you know how they works and you want to switch from one indicator to another, so you know the functions of the indicators to another indicators. So you not end up using the same thing to end up using the same indicators to confirm the same things in forex market. So that is all about for today. I'm sorry for my bad network. We have done this training in the evening. So that is the end for today's training. So we'll be online tomorrow. Or is there any question so far?
There is no question, sir. Thank you, sir.